You want to grow your cleaning company. You want to grow it pretty fast. The only problem is you're not winning as many bids as you would like to. Does that sound like you? Well, this video, I'm going to show you how to make your competition locally seem basically irrelevant when it comes to your cleaning service. That's going to lead to you getting as many accounts as you want and getting you that growth that you're actually looking for. Hi everyone, my name is Mike Mack and I help everyday people create financial freedom by building an automated cleaning business without getting dirty in the process. Okay, so if you want to grow your cleaning business with the least resistance as possible, then you're going to want to follow each one of these steps in order, okay? Because if you skip one, it's probably not going to work as well. All right, let's get right to it right now. Okay, step number one for growing your cleaning company quick with low resistance is branding and messaging. That's right. Branding and messaging. What is that? Branding and messaging is basically how you come across. What's your messaging? What are you saying that's different? You know, a lot of other typical companies are just going to talk about themselves. Well, that right there is one thing you don't want to do, but I'll come back to that in a second. It starts with your logo. It starts with your logo and your company name. Now, if you're not new to this channel, you know I talk about this all the time. You're gonna miss an opportunity if you name yourself ABC Cleaning versus, MediClean Experts, something like that. Something that if you're talking to medical professionals more than anything, that right there is part of your messaging because it's gonna grab attention. And that's what you wanna do. You wanna grab attention. It's a noisy world out there. A lot of people are pitching. You want to grab yourself attention. That's going to lower resistance. Well, what else? Your colors. Brand colors. Before you decide what colors you want for your company, it's always best to, figure out who you're trying to talk to first and then look into the psychology of, those colors. Let's say you want to go with like a bright red and then you want to go with black. What you should do first is look at, Google the color psychology of red. And if that's absolutely what you're going for based on the results, then totally go for it. Because you got to remember colors make people feel things, okay? When you see a color subconsciously, you're feeling a certain way. So there is psychology. Don't skip that step. Now that you have, your logo, your colors, your name, then we're going to talk website copy. Website copy is basically what's on your website. The words and everything, your messages, your sentences, that's all messaging. So now a missed opportunity would be, if your website was all about bragging about your company. If anything, I want you to have like a service mindset and think about you're talking to your ideal clients, okay? But you do want to have something in mind, the type of offices that your company wants to serve. It's better to do that so you could have that expert feel when you walk, when you go through a walkthrough and you're meeting people, shaking their hand. You want to have a good idea of what you're talking about. It's gonna give off so much confidence to people. Now, if you're going out there and you're cleaning professional kitchens, you're cleaning professional gyms, and you're doing medical, plus you're doing schools and daycares, plus you're doing factories and you're doing dealerships, and you see what I'm saying? You're really not gonna have that expert appeal because you're just kind of just a service provider. You're a run-of-the-mill service provider. And I'm not saying you can't get there eventually, but I'm just saying in the beginning, you really wanna know what you're talking about. So it's better to settle in on a couple of industries and adjust your messaging accordingly so they feel special and they also feel like you're an expert. Do that and you're off to a great start. Let's get to the next step. Okay, step number 2 for making all of this happen is no spam zone. That's right, no spam zone. So a lot of people get caught up on, what do I do? What do I do to get clients? What do I do to consistently get clients? But let me tell you something right now. We'll talk about the what in a second. But more than anything, the most important thing is how. That's what I tell people all the time. It's like most of this stuff works. That's the thing. Even though this channel is like not a fan of cold calling, just because it's, especially if you're a first-time entrepreneur, it's a nightmare for like 9 out of 10 people. The point is, even that works. Everything works. Email works. Postcards work. Sales letters work. Whatever. Door to door. Everything works, right? But there are varying degrees to how well they work. But the real distinguishing factor is what works best for you. Because in the first part, we're talking about our messaging and our branding and everything. Now that that's ready, you're ready to go get clients. So the best way to do this right, the best way is position yourself the right way. And the first thing you can do is make sure when you're writing, whatever your outreach strategy is, just do not brag about yourself. That's step one. Do not brag about yourself. If you're doing that, cut it off. Now, I'm not saying the opposite either. I'm not saying, oh, we totally suck, but we'd be great for you. No. You just want to make sure that your message is all about them. Simple messages like, hey, we aim to please you. Your business is our focus. Things like that. Start writing things like that. It's so important, to craft this message. It's going to make you stand out from everyone there. And now, like I said, it starts with your website, but it's also with the method, the methods that you use. And again, to make this all stick together, the second thing I would just say is consistency. Whatever you do, you just have to stick with it. If you don't stick with it, nothing will work, okay? Because if everything was like, if there was like a magic pill out there, or a magic letter, or a magic postcard, magic anything, everyone would use it, and then it wouldn't be magical anymore. So stay consistent with your selfless messaging, okay? That's step 2. Let's get to the next one. Okay, step 3 to fast growth with your cleaning business and, making your competition kind of irrelevant is likability. That's right, likability. I don't hear people talking about that. People are talking about all these other things that they say matter, but I'm telling you right now from experience, actual experience, likability is paramount. Likability, with the other things that you're doing that we talked about in this video, likability is the thing that puts it all together, okay? What is likability and how do you get it, you may be asking? Well, likability is just that thing about you that, you give off a presence and energy, and it's not just you, it's everyone on your staff. You're kind of like magnetic. You develop this magnetism about you where people like you and people want to work with people they like. That's just science, okay? So how do you do it? It starts with all the things we laid out in this video. Okay, that's the step 1 part. The next part is, on your first conversation with a potential client, because you're gonna get an inbound lead and you're gonna be talking to them on the phone. So it's important that you're perky, you're present, you're in the moment, you have a service mindset, you're being selfless. This is important. It's gonna make someone excited to get to meet you in person. And that's the next step. You're gonna do a walkthrough in person. That's another opportunity to set yourself apart. And another way to do that is smiling. Simply smiling. Be there smiling, be there loose, look professional, okay? Maybe it's a polo with some jeans, or, male or female, doesn't matter. That right there is so good. You're just right off the bat, you're professional, you're smiling, you have a way about you. That creates nice magnetism, and good magnetism is good likability. That's going to lead to more and more sales, okay? This is something you can't overlook. And most people do, and that's the sad part. So don't follow the masses. Be different. If you want a little exercise to help you really drive this home, let's say this is like a $1,000 a month account. Treat the person like they're gonna be paying you $100,000 every single month, even though they're not. But it's just that way, that service mindset, okay? Because it's a big client in your mind psychologically, so you treat them wonderful. It's going to come across. They're going to remember how you made them feel. That's likability. That is key. You do those 3 things and I promise you won't have any problems getting clients, all right? So we talked a lot about the how, right? Let's talk about the what. If you found this video helpful, you're going to really find this one helpful. Go check it out.